The thing that attracted me to Trinity MBA to begin with was actually the strategic company project. I think it's a key differentiator between Trinity MBA and, say, one of the rivals across Dublin or even across Europe, to be perfectly honest. And the thing that attracted me the most was that we would work with a company outside of my field. It was a veterinary pharmaceuticals company. So all of a sudden I went in and actually saw how they operated on a day-to-day basis. I saw how my team, which was a mix of not just people like me from a consulting background, but we had accountants, we had people from the tech industry, we had bankers, so it was a melting pot of a lot of different experience, and how they actually approached their projects was something I could actually take back to my own team. Probably one of the big changes I found even myself during the MBA when I started, probably a factor of the industries I'd worked in. I worked in asset management, promoting consulting, worked in London where well-being wouldn't mean top of the agenda, shall we say, or employee well-being. When I joined the MBA, one of the first things I noticed was like the people from the technology industry, that was one of their key drivers. Their top 1, 2, 3 things, motivators of why they wanted to work, where they work. And that was probably a real big sea change for me when I actually was listening to how they interacted. When I took a step back and even looked at our own industry, my own team, it's not just about the 9 to 5 and how they feel before they leave. It's actually, okay, how they feel within work is going to impact how they feel when they get out of work. When my friends often ask me why do I always say the MBA was the best thing I did, and the thing I link it back to is almost like educational tablets. You touch on so many different topics over the course of 2 years. You don't necessarily deep dive into one particular thing. It gives you the confidence then when you're sitting in a room and someone starts talking about maybe a corporate finance topic. It just gives you that confidence to be a kind of an active participant in the room as opposed to just sitting there afraid to answer. The most unexpected thing, and probably the best thing actually, was the very first day. The MBA director at the time kind of sat us all down and went, look, everybody here comes from an Irish system and an American system where you're fixated on results. And she said, forget that. Like, the whole thing about the MBA is to get the experience out of it. Don't worry about the results will come. Focus on the learnings and experience. And it was the best piece of advice I actually got throughout the MBA. What am I going to learn out of this topic, as opposed to am I going to get a distinction at the end? And I think that's a key difference between a business MBA and an academic master's.